Tony, we can't hear you, bro. You're muted. Now.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. Big up, man.
Can you hear me now on Monday?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm very sorry. There's technical issues sometimes. It just starts bubbling up, especially when there's a rivalry in the house. It just kind of sense. There's a storm, going on down here, man. So it just picks it up sometimes. Yeah. Say on Monday, guys in this show. Yeah. If you don't know this guy, yeah, this guy. He's one instrumental guy, yeah, to and I brought a surprise for you on Monday, yeah. The neutral guy.
Yes. The referee, Mills Lane.
Yes.
Come on.
Exactly. See it, guys. I need you to welcome to the show today, guys. I need you to welcome to the show today, guys. Someone very important to this show, to my channel, Omondi Juma, great guy who's always helped me with this channel since I started, and it's just nice that he could come here and cozy up to the seats and just grace the show once again. Omondi Juma, you're welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey, what a wonderful warm greeting, as always, as you always do, Tony. You always make me feel like a king, like I'm on a throne here, but it's wonderful to be back. I've been watching you, Tony. I've been watching you, bro. I've been watching you grow, doing your thing, as well as Deji as well. I'll come to you in a sec, Deji. But you guys are smashing it. As well as the intro, I was head nodding, tapping my toes during your intro. You got some nice graphics there. And I've noticed you going down to the Arsenal Football Stadium to do interviews as well with your quirky style. It's brilliant stuff. And long may it continue. You deserve to be one of the best out there, because you are the best, in my opinion. Your interviews are top drawer. You ask the right questions with a bit of bants and jokes aside in that as well. And you also look very handsome in your profile, your animated profile image as well. It's years off you. It's taking years off you, bro. You look 21 again, yeah? And big up to Deji Spurs.
Thanks.
I've been dodging him, but you tried to bring him on after what they did to us a couple of weeks ago. I'd rather not talk about that. That's over and done with. But they had a great result today. And what they call it, Angie Ball or Angie
Ball, man. Ange Ball.
It's your time. It's your time, bro. I ain't effing with you. I got nothing to say to you. But Deji, bruv, you've been doing the rounds. I've been watching you, a silent watcher. Respect, man. You got to get some respect upon your name because your team are doing well. And now you can really enlarge it. So big up your chest.
Monday, my brother. Thank you. So, Tony. Monday as well. Yeah, go on.
Monday is here. See, guys, I have a neutral guy for this one, because when me and Omondi, I respect him a lot, but guys who have started the show with me, it. When I go with Omondi, it's like two lions clashing their heads, even if I do respect him. So I had to bring a tiebreaker, today, and this tiebreaker is a little bit happy today, because they smashed some minnows at Tough More today, guys. So, he's pumping his chest. He's happy. He's ready to have a go at one day. He's ready to have a go at me too today. So, guys, welcome the Arsenal Slayer, the Tottenham Van Helsing himself, Deji Spores. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, Tony, do you know what? I just want to say, big up to you. Big up to my brother Omondi. Omondi, much love to you. I see what you're doing. Love it. And thank you, because it was through Omondi and the crew that even enabled me to even get onto the platform. And, the rest, as they say, is history. So, but the love is there. I know where I came from. And so there will always be love. And obviously, Tony, we know each other from way back. Jumped on one of Tony's first shows. And I agree with you, Omondi. One of the best in the game, and he's growing. And don't sleep on Tony, people. Tony's doing big things. But I just want to say, Tony, big up to you and Omondi for allowing me to be the neutralist in this space. And I have to say, it's only right, given the current circumstances, you get me, where my team, my club, is probably the second best performing team in the Prem right now. Right now, apart from the dusty draw against Brentford, I would say Tottenham and Man City are playing the best football in the league right now. Let's just keep it real. But on Monday, I am begging your club. I am begging your club to do something tomorrow because Man United fans have been shaking their bum violently, and I'm not too sure why. Because that midfield is looking a little bit like, like Egypt before Christ. Big, you know what I mean? Casemiro is not Casemiro of Real Madrid. Some people are shaking their bum for Amrabat, and Fernandes is aight. But I'm hopeful that United can put on a show and do something. As for Arsenal, we're hearing some good news. I don't wish bad on any player. Partey is out. So right now, I think both clubs are evenly split, and that's why it's a pleasure to be in this space and to hear what you, man, and what your thoughts are ahead of the big one, the Super Sunday clash between Manchester United and Arsenal Football Club. So
you know what, Deji? The great Mills Lane referee used to say, "I'm firm, but I'm fair," and I know as a referee today, you're going to be firm and fair with both of us. For one, because we're rivals. You hate Arsenal, and you kind of hate us as well. But I know because you're sitting up there on your throne right now, top of the league, running things, form team. You don't have no sort of ulterior motives here. You're going to be fair. No. So everyone settle down and enjoy this because I'm looking. Could be better than the match tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. And everyone's licking their lips on this one.
Yeah, real talk.
See, Omondi, I'll go straight right into it. Yeah, you know me. When I come in, I come with my stats. Yeah, I'm the stats guy. Yeah, because I have it, and when I start flossing with it, I trade like a rotisserie chicken. Yeah, that's how I do my own thing. See, Omondi. See, on Monday, in 10 meetings, to London sides. In 10 meetings, you won just one, drawn 3, lost 6. What gives you that courage that coming down to London this time around, that you're going to have a piece of Arsenal come tomorrow on Sunday?
Now, if you look at the bookies would suggest that, they probably go on data and stats like that and make a decision based on what you're bringing. But I'm bringing something different. I'm going to go a bit deeper. I'm a Man United fan. It's a new season. We've improved in a number of areas. Last season, we came third in the league despite our poor away record. You can bring up the data about how we didn't beat top 6 or top 9 teams away from home. What is the issue? What's going on there? I can't put my finger in it exactly, but what I do know is that we have made the right improvements during the summer with personnel to improve our system. So, as you know, the manager wants to be the best transitional team in Europe, and he also wants to play the ball out from the back and also have a bit of possession-based football as well. So I think all these 3 things have been sort of fixed up where we've got a goalkeeper. As you know, you don't need to. He's African. He's gone from Cameroon, so he's not Ghanaian. He's from Cameroon. We all know about him, Onana, and we're all delighted to see him in the Premier League. And we know what he can bring through his distribution, his passing, left foot, right foot, confidence as well. And he will give us at least 30% extra than we had last season in bringing the ball out. That's fantastic. Sorry. Secondly, I talked about being the best transitional team in the league. That's our goal. That means when you're playing the ball out, we want to turn over the ball, transition the attack, and get on a shot on target really soon. They're lucky Deji's here as well because he can bear witness to what almost happened when we played Spurs the other day. Even though we lost 2-0, I was really excited by the first half. We had created a few chances. We had two or three headers that should have been goals. And it's all from transitions, all from hard work. We're trying to stop you from playing out, breaking you down. The first line of play, breaking you down there and getting in on goal. And that's what. And I think, okay, this is impressive. We're moving forward. Unfortunately, we didn't finish our dinner. And if we did, it would have been a different story, hopefully. And then Spurs, they made some really good key adjustments in the second half and exploited the third position that I'm going to go to, which is the midfield. We left Casemiro alone with Maddison. Maddison sort of drifted off to the interior position and it opened up everything for us, for you guys, and you played some really wonderful football. Tottenham, I'm talking about, movement off the ball, and we were really exposed, as we were in the first couple of games against Wolves. People say they ran through us, but defensively we managed that and we got 1-0 result. And obviously against Spurs now, it's a game of two halves. They made adjustments and they saw our weaknesses and exploited it. And fair play to them, they were better side. But I do think we showed what we can do. Now, this is week 4. We're coming to Arsenal again. I do believe with Amrabat in the side, he might not play. I'm talking about this is long term now. That might solve a few issues defensively in the middle of the park. And with possession as well. This is a guy you can't ruffle or you can't close down and expect to pinch him and get the ball. He looks after the ball like a baby. He's very early. He keeps hold of it, and that will give us a bit more poise and composure in the middle of the park. And also, he can read the game and he makes the runs, 25, 30-yard runs to get back and have that insurance when we are getting counted on or that sort of transition. So those 3 areas, I think we fixed up with those 3 players. And not to mention that it's another year of Ten Hag, who's a good manager, I believe. And I think we're instilling something really positive into the club. And once it clicks this Sunday in a game where we should, like you said, because it's all started from you bringing up the stats, that we don't win away from home, especially in London, and won it at Highbury or the Emirates, for a long time. I think.
But the stats don't lie. The stats don't lie. The stats don't lie. You've lost 6.
I agree.
6 in 10 London games.
These
you've
are
drawn
facts.
3. You've only won 1.
Well, those are facts from the past. I'm here to speculate. I'm here to speculate why that can change. And I forgot to talk about the striker position. Now we have, whereas before we see Rashford and Martial swapping position for the number 9, and we haven't really got a recognised striker. But remember Christ the Redeemer in Brazil? Christ the Redeemer, the big statue. Now we've got a focal point like that. Christ the Redeemer, we can pick him out. This is someone who's big, strong, and will exploit Arsenal, who like to get overloads in midfield, lead their 3 at the back, and there'll be wide gaps. Someone mentioned Moses or the Bible earlier, but it will be like Exodus when we break through, and like we did at Old Trafford last season, and there'll be huge gaps, and we put down our staff and say, send man through, and we will go and score goals. I reckon it'll be a blitz, and we're going to score a lot of goals against you tomorrow. It might sound ridiculous, but this is what I believe. Wow. And I'm trying to summarize this with evidence of what like I've just
Omondi's coming on the offensive. This is incredible.
Omondi, can I ask a question?
Opportunity.
Can I ask a question, though, Omondi? And this is just legit. Is this striker that you've got playing tomorrow? Is he? Because I don't know much about him. I'm just hopeful that he's not another Weghorst.
Well, Weghorst doesn't score goals. You saw him with the eye test. I'm not here to do stats. You saw him in the eye test. He's probably not good enough for us in any way, shape, or form. I think this guy's young. He's 20 years old. He's got the quickest. They do a lot of data these days about speed ratings. That in Serie A last season, he's one of the quickest on the speed thermometer. Is it thermometer? That's a heat. Heat is thermometer. Yeah. Speed gauge. Sorry, but he's hot as well. If you want to talk about thermometer, he's also hot. And big and strong.
Oh my god!
And he's got the speed to get through. He's strong like that. He can hold up the ball as well. I think there's a lot. I don't know enough about him, but I'm really excited. And I know he's been training. And the manager said one thing is give me confidence as well. If you watch a press conference, the manager's skinning. When someone's skinning, like I know something you don't know. Because of probably the training sessions they've been having all this week with Rasmus there. All the players, everyone's got this sort of bit of confidence, which is just like, don't spill the beans, don't say the word, shh, don't mention the war, like Basil Fawlty, that kind of talk. Because I can see it in the manager, he's buzzing and he can't wait to let leash on you this week. Unfortunately, you are the victims. What's going to happen? We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, there's enough there to be promised.
See, Deji, you jumped the gun, actually, yeah? And the stats guy, I would give you that stats. There's a reason why he's not talking about the stats of this guy. So right now, let me give you my rebuttal for that one. See, yeah, I find it ridiculous, yeah, that Manchester United, yeah, go into Atlanta, go and pluck a 20-year-old Danish guy, yeah? Now I'll give you stats, yeah? Played for FC Copenhagen, played for Grass also. Those are the experiences of this guy. So let me just let you understand the kind of striker we're talking about. Yeah. played in Atalanta. Do you know what? He played 32 games in the Serie A last season. Yeah? Did you suppose, guess how many goals this guy has?
9.
That got him his move to Manchester United.
About
Just
10,
9.
10?
Do you know
9.
his assist record? Just 9 goals for 70 million pounds.
How much did you pay
and
for
do you know
him?
how many assists he has? 70 million. Are you kidding me? Manchester United paid 70 million for this guy, a 20-year-old Danish international, 9 goals in 32 appearances for Atalanta in Serie A. Deji, is that the guy that will legitimately be unleashed, yeah, at the Emirates in front of the whole fans, yeah, at the Emirates in this heat? I don't think it's possible, man. And you know what, yeah, what even makes that move so ridiculous is that he only got 2 assists last season. 9 goals, 2 assists, and it cost 70 million pounds. Yeah. Now I'll tell you a striker who was even more better than that guy. That guy's name is Balogun. He's now out to Monaco. He scored about 20-something goals in the league that Kylian Mbappe was playing for, Messi was playing for. I respect his stats even more than this guy. So if Erik Ten Hag is thinking of coming down to the Emirates tomorrow and unleashing this guy to this heat, and mind you, he's just coming from an injury. So I don't see the kind of confidence or where this confidence Manchester United fans are coming with. This guy needs match fitness. And the last time I checked, yeah, the Premiership is a humbler. This league would genuinely humble players. Go ask Kamaka, who came in from the Italian Serie A. He spent 1 season down here. Night is over. You know what, yeah? Let's talk about a defensive general who came from the Serie A. Turned into pants in this league. Koulibaly. Go ask him. Came from the Serie A. See, yeah, you just have to pipe it low with the expectations with this guy. I'm not saying he's not going to come good, but it doesn't mean that he's blonde with the same thing like Haaland, that kind of equals to that he's going to score goals for you guys. Omondi, think again. Just bring him sparingly into the whole conversation. Then, I still believe that your main threat is Rashford coming in tomorrow. Rashford has a very, very big record scoring against Arsenal. If you're talking about that guy, then I would say yes. And mind you, he has very, very incredible starts when playing against Arsenal. Scored in 3 consecutive matches against Arsenal, back-to-back 3 times. But there's another person, yeah, in this whole equation who has scored 3 consecutive goals, yeah, against Manchester United in the last 5 times that we've played. And that person is Bukayo Saka. And guess who is going to be having that run up against? Hey, guys, it's Dalot. And Bukayo Saka would fancy his chances, in those one-on-one runs with Dalot.
Is he up against Dalot or is he up against Reguilon? Saka. Because Saka plays on the right now.
Yeah, I think Dalot might be playing left back. He played left back in the last game. I think where Tony's going with that.
Yeah, that's a bit techie right there.
Can I get your thoughts on Reguilon? What's gone wrong at Spurs? When he came to Spurs,
it's gonna be
highly rated player, and I really enjoyed watching him play. What's the issue with him?
To be honest, he's not a bad player. It's just that he didn't fit the Conte system.
Okay.
When Conte wants you to go, I think he's a classic kind of left back, not a wing back. And then we brought in Udogie, who is just an upgrade on him. To be honest, Udogie is just quality. So I think Reguilon's just kind of been hard done by the Udogie factor, and also I just feel like he doesn't have end product. So when he first came to Spurs, he got an assist, but he doesn't do enough crossing into the box, to be honest. Right. And that's part of the problem. But I think with some players, it's not necessarily that they're not good. Sometimes maybe the system they're being asked to play doesn't work for them. And I think maybe the system that we're playing now just doesn't work for Reguilon. But I think he could play that system, but Udogie, man, is a class act, mate. And then we've got Perisic, who I'm not really feeling, but he does give a different dynamic, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay, Omondi, please. I'll just run you through this very short question. Yeah, say coming into this matchup, yeah, you have several injuries. Actually, Manchester United right now is a goddamn infirmary. I'll give you that. I'll give you the synopsis to that. Look, Shaw injured. Look, Shaw injured. Big ups to everyone in the charts. Big up Jazz, who is also in the charts too. Deji Sports is in the charts. Jay Grins, Across the Sports Talk, MEFC Global. All you guys. True Gunner, big ups to you. Yeah, head to there. Big ups to you. Everyone who's in the charts. Big ups to you. Luke Shaw is injured in this matchup. Varane injured in this matchup.
Is
Mount
Varane injured?
scammed
Is
by
Varane
Chelsea.
injured?
Yep.
Varane is injured. He's injured. Just ask Monday. Look at his face. He's laughing. The truth. The truth is out there. See, yeah, Mason Mount. You guys were scammed by Chelsea. You know what? Yeah, Chelsea at this time, they're equal distributor of this stuff we're seeing right now, throwing their deadwoods everywhere. Yeah, we're scammed. Brought in Kai Havertz for about 65 million pounds. They also scammed you guys, giving you guys Mason Mount. And you know what? Yeah, Mason Mount doesn't have to prove himself on a Manchester United shirt. He's already a Chelsea legend, won a Champions League with them. So he doesn't really have to prove himself in it. So right now he's injured. Malasha, injured. Ahmad, injured. Mino, injured. See, you guys have a goddamn infirmary down there. What gives you that confidence that you have enough to come with that ammunition to the Emirates and kind of like do what I call the Millie Rock with someone who was always there in your football club to do it? I don't think he's there to do it again.
Well, Tony, there's a lot of points I've trying to log in my head that you've said a lot of stuff, and I didn't interrupt. I thought, okay, I'll let that hang. So, first of all, you said about you questioned Christ the Redeemer, the Rasmus, or whatever his name was, the Denmark striker coming in from Atalanta, and he's 20 years old. Now, you made a key error, I believe. You judged him based on goals and stats. Sometimes stats can be good, but this is not crucial when you talk about 9 goals and two assists in 20 games for Atalanta for a 20-year-old. Now, it's not just that. You have to look at I looked at that and said, okay, interesting. Obviously, I've done my research on this guy. He's coming to our club. It's not about that. When you look at Haaland's got goals because of the way he plays. I think when you look at Haaland, or I can't know how you pronounce his name, our Danish guy, he plays slightly different. How do you say it? Highland. Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to wait for the commentary tomorrow, and then I'm going to judge it based on that. If he plays, when he plays, go buy a Haaland. All right. So I look at it differently. I think what this guy contributes is different. He can come forward. If you look at his diagrams, his heat maps, all that kind of thing, it's not basically all for goals. It's about the team. So you can't just judge him and say, right, we just want a goal scorer. If you want a goal scorer, you go and buy Haaland from Man City, because he does all his work in the box. Hardly touches the ball outside the box, effective like that. But this guy, Rasmus, does a lot of work, which we need for our system, dragging defenders out of position so other guys like Rashford can exploit the void that's being taken over. He can come in, bring up the ball, play with his back to goal, pop it off. You can see that. There's live action to show this. I've watched 90 minutes of his games, gone back and checked it. He does peel off defenders. He can hold it up. He can pin down defenders. So that's something going facing away from goal. But when he's driving into the box, he does stay in that zone 14, that goal scoring area, which is what we need as a striker, because Martial and Rashford do not do that. At 20 years old, I think that's pretty good, 1 in 2 almost for goals or goal contributions. So I don't think that's too much of a disrespect, especially in the Italian league, where usually the top goal scorers rarely score 20 plus goals. So I think that's pretty decent for someone hit that age. I think when we pay scouts for potential, you have to say, right, what's this guy's ceiling like? And I think based on that, this guy's clearly, for the money we paid, has a high ceiling. Higher than the guy at Brighton who scored a hat-trick today, who we were looking at before, the Irish boy. He looks good. But I think Haaland, 20 years old, similar age, will give us something a bit different with the pace, the power, and he's very dynamic as well. So that's around the goals. I don't think that counts because he's a team player. He'd be a great attribute to our side. You're asking about Man United and injuries. Yeah, that's an issue. Mason Mount is a good signing, a very good signing. I think I'm not saying no one's uneducated here, but you can see the work he does off the ball. You only have to ask Deji how he pinched you guys trying to play it out. He was there to pinch balls, work rate. He's better, I think, in the front three than playing in the midfield because of his work rate and his intelligence and break things down. And he fits our system well. You buy players for the system. I think that's what you do. You don't do like Chelsea, you just buy players and then just try to create something. There's a plan, a strategy here. So Mount is a good player. Unfortunately, he's missing. So we will have to make some alternative decisions in that area. You talked about Saka and Dalot. That's a clash. Last season, I thought Luke Shaw done really well against Saka. Saka scored at the Emirates only because Eriksen was on him. That's the only time he got a yard because Eriksen stood him up and suddenly thought, what, this is it? It's show time. You know, you couldn't do that to Luke Shaw. So Dalot, we're going to have a plan for him tomorrow. And like with Fulham last week, they stifled you for 70 minutes. Teams now know how to break down, how to stop Arsenal playing football. And I think we're well drilled in that. We're very compact and we will stop you from playing football in that respect. If it means getting out to Saka early, like you like to get out to and get one-on-one situations, I think we're going to have some plan for that backup, whether it's McTominay comes in the side to give us that backup or maybe Casemiro. Who knows? But I think there will be a plan. I can't vision it yet, but we have to deal with that because that star boy is very effective with what he does. I would say he's a great player, but he's very effective in that position for the team he's playing in. Injuries, yeah, that sucks, but I'm still confident.
But again, in your gameplay, do you think keeping a low block will be on the table?
Well, look, we don't go out there designed to play a low block. What you have in situations, you're going to be 20 minutes under the cosh. So you have to be comfortable in all situations of the game. So there might be 10, 15 minutes when you guys start to play your ball, get comfortable. If you can manage situations like that, then we're quite comfortable. You know, a lot of teams are well drilled. When you do attack versus defense in training, you know you're going to be outnumbered the defenders. So you get drilled in these sort of situations. And this is where communication comes in and organization, and we compact and we protect the key areas. Maybe allow you to have the ball out wide or whatever. But we just need to protect our goal and stop you from scoring. And I think at this level, I think it's quite easily done. As Fulham demonstrated only last week, they scored a goal. They went to 2 lines of 4, and you really struggled to find spaces to play in between the lines or get it out wide, and because they would double up on you and all that kind of thing. So you really found it hard. And you guys, where you might be a bit naive, I believe, no disrespect, but I think you tried to walk the ball into the net or try to play your football on the carpet in front of your fans and press. But you can't always do that. You have to sometimes force it or play a little hardcore football or rough stuff, you know? So it's going to be, this is what I'm saying, this encounter is massive. There's so many variables. We just don't know how things are going to step up. So I'm just going to enjoy the game, but I'm not going to sit here and allow you, just because you came above us last season, just because you're playing pretty football, just because you might be ahead of us in theory of what you want to achieve. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to say you're going to dominate us or our away form's poor or we're poor at the Emirates. I'm going to sit here and say, nah, bruv, this is war. It's a derby. It doesn't matter about form or whatever. We're coming and we will be shamed if we lose to you. We're coming to give you hell. And I believe if there's one side in this Premier League that can hurt you the way you play your football, when you start getting these overloads, whether it's Partey, whether it's Shevchenko into midfield, like we did last season, suddenly, quick transition, one team is the best team in the league probably at that is Man United. And so be warned, because we might be on our knees with injuries and all these other issues, but when it comes to the system, we are your worst nightmare.
Oh, good. Deji Sports is in the fray. See, just about a week ago, you came to London, and this guy's team actually opened you guys up, and you know what happened down there in Tottenham Sports down there in London, Deji Sports, Manchester United considered 2 quick goals, 2 goals in 4 minutes against maybe relegation battlers, but again, adapt that because just today they beat up Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So that brings up a whole new question into how strong Nottingham Forest really is. But again, Omondi's team, Manchester United, considered 2 goals in 4 minutes. Deji Sports, you beat these guys 2-0 at Tottenham Hotspurs at the Lane. Just take us through what you feel Arsenal's game plan should be able to to carry to be able to hurt Manchester United where it hurts.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to Omondi, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be quite candid. I want United to win tomorrow, but I think Arsenal will win, and I'll explain why. I think the whole midfield thing was an issue, but I think the number of injuries for me is the bit that concerns me. I think you've got too many injuries. You can't really bring out, when you're playing a big game, big derby games of old, ManU versus Arsenal. When you think of Roy Keane and Vieira, it was your best 11 versus the best 11, and for United to get a result, you need your best 11. That's just a fact, and I know what Omondi's saying in terms of energy, in terms of transitional play, and all of that. I think the Man U players aren't going to get slapped up, but I think that with Amrabat just coming in, he's not had time to settle down. Is he even going to start? We're looking at potentially Dalot, who's not really a left back up against Saka, who is seasoned in that position, and if not Saka, Reguilon.
Maybe even Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans is back to the football club. Johnny Evans is back to the football club.
Really?
I just have to add that in there. I'm sorry, dude.
But, so it's looking kind of techie. It's looking techie, and we want Rashford as the number 9 off the wing, ideally. The problem that one of the issues that I think the whole Havertz thing is a bigger issue than Arsenal kind of give it credit for. I have a feeling that Arsenal will revert back to form, which is Partey in the midfield. I'm just hearing that Partey is injured. I don't know how true that is. I haven't had time to check that up. But if Arsenal revert back to Partey being the defensive midfield destroyer with Odegaard and Declan Rice playing the Xhaka role, then I think it's a long day, really. I don't see how Man United can beat them. However, if Partey is back in the right back and he's doing this Kai Havertz thing, then I think it's all to play for. I really think Man United could go to the Emirates and get a draw. Arsenal probably have more possession, but one thing that I do see is that they're very wasteful in front of goal. And Nottingham Forest are playing well. On another day, Nottingham Forest get a result against Arsenal, so don't get it twisted. They almost equalised and made it 2-2. They gave you guys a run for your money. And then they beat Chelsea today. So Nottingham Forest aren't no mugs. And arguably, you have to say that's probably one of the toughest starts to any Premier League season. Arsenal, Chelsea, and bloody Manchester United. So let's put some respect on their name. So it's a toughie. I want United to win. I mean, I need you to win. I need you guys to win. But yeah, I would have preferred if you had. I would have preferred if you had your full squad. There's no Varane either. I mean, if you took the team that played Spurs, I would have more confidence.
But Partey is out. Apparently, he's going to be out.
Partey is out. Yeah. That is a blow. That is a major blow.
So that's when the Havertz equation comes in.
What
is the issue with Havertz? I mean,
that's a big blow.
Can we talk about that? Because what's going on with Havertz? Why is this so-called wonder kid, world-class player, scorer of Champions League final goals and all this kind of thing, getting disrespected by, unqualified fans? I don't know. Surely people in Europe must be laughing, saying, why are they cussing this guy? This guy is a gem of a player. He's still international. He's still young. Why? And then it would be, I would accuse any manager of not being able to utilize this guy to be effective. There's something wrong here. He's a very good player, as Mount is a good player. I just don't like the disrespect from the fan base to say, why are we playing this guy? He's shit all of a sudden. Why has someone become shit? They call Cucurella shit because he was, took on to Chelsea and the system didn't suit him or he wasn't getting games. Suddenly he's a shit player. I don't understand this kind of logic. What's going on with Havertz?
He struggled in the Prem. He struggled in Germany. I think he does well in the Spanish league. He does well, but in the Prem, he's not the guy. And I think what I'm seeing in Arsenal or in Arteta in particular is a little bit of arrogance. He had such a good season last season, but let's be real, it was a freak season for Arsenal. And this guy now believes that he is Pep 2.0 and that he can change the fortunes of some players. And maybe he can, but for what he brought Havertz in for, he's not that guy. He was a great, because you remember when he played England in the Euros?
Yeah.
He was banging in some dirty goals in that game. He scored some good goals, but I don't think Havertz is just, I don't think he can, I just don't think the Prem is for him. And he struggles. That's my personal opinion.
Tony, I mean, do you agree with the
Yeah.
Prem not being him? What does that mean?
See, the Kai Havertz thing is it's a mystery to me. We brought this guy for about £65 million. I think that's where the hurt is with the being scammed by football club.
Yeah, Tony, we lost
connection.
Yeah.
But don't you think, Dej, that it's a case that the manager has to find a way to get him to play more effectively? This is a guy who sort of, he plays the number 9. This is why I've got doubts about him not being able to play in the Prem. When he played for Chelsea, he suddenly plays a number 9 or a false 9. And then you expect numbers or expect some sort of contribution from him. I think when he was playing his best football in Germany, he was sort of playing as a 10 and coming in late to the box and not being that sort of focal point as a player. And now with Arsenal, he's apparently, I haven't been watching all the games, but he's been playing in where Xhaka played last season.
Yeah.
I
agree. I agree.
You've got to give him time. I think it's a good signing.
I think his best position is number 10, but the problem is where Arteta is getting it wrong, and I'm not here to give Arsenal the blueprint, but if anybody wants to employ me as a coach, I'm willing to take the job for 100k a year, so not too much money. The thing is, Arteta is trying to squeeze them all in. It's a little bit like Jenga, and for me, it's like sometimes you just on Monday you manage a team on a Sunday. You want to put all your best players in, but you know you can't. So one of them has to sit out. They're not happy, but they have to sit out, and then you got to find space for them. What it should be is Odegaard plays number 10. You give him 60, 65 minutes, 70 minutes, and then Havertz comes in for the last 20. Let's see what he does. He's a number 10. But you're playing him in the Xhaka role. That's not his game. Yeah, these guys grow up playing different positions. But of recent time, you play them in where they're the strongest at, the position that they can hit the ground running. And we know for the German national team, he's a number 10. He's been banging goals from the number 10. And he can also play the false 9. But you're not playing him in either of those roles. You're playing him where Xhaka played. Now, I'm not being funny.
But hold on. Xhaka last season, I'm going to go to stats now. I'm going to do Tony. I'm sure he scored 9 goals and had something like 8, 9 assists as well. So if you're thinking like that, you'd think bring Havertz into that position. That's going to be even better. You're going to get a better out.
But he's not a midfielder, bro. He's not a box-to-box midfielder. Yeah. So, you're talking from an attacking threat, but he also has to defend, and that's the problem.
Oh, so you think it's the defending side of things? The
defensive side of things is an issue, but also, in order to accommodate him, you've put your midfield destroyer at bloody right back. So that don't even make no sense. Why would that's like Tottenham playing Basuma as a right wing back? Why would we do that?
He's inverting into midfield, into that box midfield. So as everyone plays now, so you get to a situation when you got Arsenal have all the possession. Suddenly you got that box midfield with Partey coming into the midfield with Rice, and then ahead of them is that the box ahead of them, which would be Havertz and Odegaard. And then it becomes an overload which is hard to deal with for a lot of sides. Ideally, I think in
an ideal world. But the problem is when you lose the ball, there's a big fat dirty gap on the right hand side.
We're gonna exploit them.
Which Rashford is gonna terrorize man tomorrow because he don't need any gap. He's already a problem, and then to add the gap. So if Arteta does that tomorrow, they deserve what happens next. Arsenal fans, they deserve what happens next if he does that.
Sorry, Tony, while you were away, we just solved the puzzle. I'm glad you didn't hear that. Because I know
Yeah.
you'll be on the phone to Arteta telling him
No. I had to cheat. I don't know. My main computer's just messing me up, so I had to use my backup computer. Deji Sports, I know you're about to go. Yeah. See, Deji, just give us your prediction for that matchup before me and Omondi can, get to continue.
The thing is, there's a lot of intricacies here. If Arteta does what we think he's going to do, there is a gap on the right-hand side. Partey's not there, and let's be real, when Partey is not there, Arsenal look like a League One side. Let's just be real about it. Partey is like Chelsea when they had N'Golo Kante. He makes.
But he has been playing at a right back this season, Deji.
Bruv,
You can't say all these things. Yeah, he's been playing at a right season.
Bruv, I know.
Not even in the middle of the park.
I know what I'm talking about. So based on that, and based on the fact that ManU have too many injuries, I've got Arsenal to win 2-1, to be honest. I've got Arsenal to win 2-1. But I think at the very best, it will be a draw. Because Arsenal, Partey and Shiver Me Timbers is about it, really. Jesus is back. He's a baller. They've got everyone else. Their front three is there. Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka. Declan is doing his thing. Yeah, Saliba's there. Gabriel's there. Ben White's there. Ben White can play right back, by the way, and he probably will.
Fact.
Oh yeah.
And then you got Ramsbottom. Yeah. You know, he's probably going to revert back to last season.
Ramsbottom.
Sorry about that.
Deji Sports, man. Thanks for showing up down here. Me and Omondi will just continue our
Thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't stay to the end. But thank you.
Big up, man. Enough respect.
Big up. See, Omondi, yeah, because I was having a little bit of technical issues. So when you asked about that Kai Havertz thing, see, I do understand the idea behind Mikel Arteta bringing in Kai Havertz. Truthfully, I do understand. But one thing you need to understand is that we brought that guy for about £65 million. This is a guy that have just scored 7 goals consecutively, in the Premiership. He's not. He didn't come to Arsenal with such a big record, to warrant that £65 million that we paid for him. And I'm sorry, when you pay that kind of money, that kind of exorbitant amount for a player in this league, you just have to hit the ground running or show a form of similarity of hitting the ground running, helping the gameplay, assisting, scoring. And I'm sorry, in these first 3 games this season, it's just like a passenger. See, I gave him about 10 games to be able to show me, what he's all about. Yeah, because this signing just came out from nowhere. The reasoning I think Mikel Arteta brought this guy, it's quite simple. We have a number 9 who's not really a number 9 in our football club, Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus is out there trying to link up play, bring in all our attacking assets together and try and create spaces, pocket spaces. He does that, But again, that's the problem. He's never in that box to score those loose balls, to score those tappings that come in. And of course, you can really understand why Havertz is down there. He's that kind of guy that could stay at the end of those tap ins,
Exactly.
Those little spaces. Exactly. So that's why he was brought in. But it's not clearly working. But again, there could also be an excuse for that. Gabriel Jesus, who links up play, hasn't been playing. We have Eddie Nketiah, who is not more of a link up play kind of guy. So that's a big problem. But now with Gabriel Jesus coming back, I want to see Kai Havertz thrive in that role. And also, now that Zinchenko is now back, of course, his inverted nature, always trying to invert from that left back position. He could be able to create some spaces, drag along a few of the opposition players, which might create spaces for Kai Havertz. But again, I want to see Kai Havertz as my plan B rather than as my plan A. Because I have other people who could actually cause damage around that area. We have Trossard who could still come in and do 1 or 2 things God damn it, we could still bring in a Smith Rowe. People have forgotten so soon. And Chelsea Football Club nearly came in for him in this transfer window. So, we have lots of players that can genuinely, cause damage in that same position that Kai Havertz is also playing in. And mind you, we also have this guy from the bench, Fabio Vieira, who has showed signs of improvement since last season. Omondi, come in.
Yeah, I just want to get my CV out. I'm just going to add, because already we know you're a stat man, but I just want to add tactical knowledge as well to your CV.
Yeah.
What you just said was on the money. I totally agree with you there, Tony. I mean, with Jesus, he does drag people out of position. The centre and that void that the centre back leaves by chasing down Jesus is perfect for someone like Havertz to come in. And I just, as I said to Deji, I think Havertz is kind of replacing Xhaka, who Xhaka last season scored 9 goals and had how many assists? I don't know. So if you
nearly 10 assists,
upgrade, to me it would be like what? So you get 9 goals playing that role in this system for someone like Xhaka. Surely Havertz would be an upgrade on that, knowing that he can ghost into the box, he can finish, head, he's a great header of the ball as well, and he can finish as well. Surely that's an upgrade from Xhaka. So why aren't fans happy with that? Why can't they be patient and let it give it time to see the process, as they're their key word right now? That's my thoughts on the Xhaka situation. Sorry, not Xhaka, the Havertz situation. I think it's a class act.
The Havertz situation.
Yeah,
like I said, he came in for big money. He came in for big money. It boils the blood of fans, because fans still thought that we could still get in maybe a striker with that amount of money. We could still get in maybe, just maybe, a left back, because right now we'll be having a left back crisis if Zinchenko suddenly gets injured. Just imagine who we'll be having down there. Kivio, inexperienced defender who came in last season from the Italian Serie A, from Spezia, lacks total experience, in that back four, lacks match fitness. He hasn't really been playing that much. This guy was actually tying the lace of his boots while Liverpool were in an attack and scored last season at the Emirates. That's how bad it is. So if Zinchenko goes down under his political,
losing you.
The other cover who was down there, Kirienteni, has already been shipped out to Real Sociedad. So we literally are in trouble. We should have used that money we used to bring in Kai, or maybe buy a striker, because right now we're relying on the goals of Eddie Nketiah to keep us out there.
Who's just been called up to the England squad. Congratulations.
To the England squad,
yeah. Well deserved. He's unique, Eddie. I mean, as we saw at the Emirates last season with his brace of goals against United, I think that guy's deserves some respect, and he's got a great array of finishing as well. Very difficult to manage. So yeah, fair play to him. I thought he'd be shipped out like Balogun, but yeah, you've stuck with him. And that's credit to the manager and Arsenal Football Club as well. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm really excited about this game tomorrow, Tony. I do think we can beat you. It's a big, tough ask, but I'm not going to come on the show and say we can't win. I have to be positive, and from what I've seen, I think it's going to be a game full of goals. And I think we've proven against you last season we can be hold it down. We can sort of be compact and deal with situations when we're on the back foot. But we've also proven the game at Old Trafford and last season at the Emirates that we can score goals. I don't have to remind you about Partey getting nuts by Rashford, and Rashford driving through and banging the goal of the game and maybe the goal of the season last season. I'm exaggerating, but that was a beauty. But so just
shows a beauty, man. That was a beauty, man.
And you saw Martinez's reaction when he scored his goal at the Emirates as well to make it 2-2, I believe. So it shows how much it means to the players. These players know there's a massive game tomorrow. So everyone is tuning in. 4:30 or 4 o'clock kickoff.
But again, I'm also concerned about your defense. On Monday, there's no amount sugar-coated words you will use down here to cover that up. Yeah, I still believe that your defense is still very porous. You came under 2 goals in 4 minutes. There's something in there to be exploited. I'm sorry, there's no how you could, cover those cracks. Yeah, I believe there's something defensively that's wrong with Manchester United, and teams with incursive kind of wingers can find their way and smell blood when they find such weaknesses. And mind you, Varane, who has been an utter rock in central defense for you guys, is already injured. So I do smell blood when you guys come to the Emirates. What do you think?
Okay. I think, like you said, our defence to weakness. So let me just go through this. So this season, we conceded 4 goals, 2 goals against Nottingham Forest. First one was we were attacking, had a corner. Their guy picked up the ball and drove, shrugged off Marcus Rashford and broke through. This is a transition. We weren't set up correctly. We didn't have the right insurance. And this is from our corner. He's ran the length of the pitch and we didn't have the insurance to block him or bring him down or stop him. So I don't think that's a defensive structure issue. I think it's more of this. We just weren't at the races. The second goal they scored was from a corner. Wan-Bissaka was static. You got to attack the ball with a run. He's static and just jumped like that. It came off Bowley's shoulder and went in the goal. The goals against Spurs were simply, for me, a case of not running with your man. So Mason Mount didn't go with Papa. I called him Papa Shango. It was Papa Sarr, isn't it? Didn't go with Papa Sarr. He ran with him back, tried to cover him. But as soon as he got into the box and there was numbers there, he stopped running. And Papa Sarr picked up the pieces and scored the goal. And the other goal was just, we had Ben, imagine, what's his name? Who's their left back who scored their second goal for us, for Spurs. He was just standing in the box. No one was picking him up. Madison. Yeah, the Welsh guy, I forget his name, Ben Davis, that's it. Imagine he's standing in the 6-yard box and no one picked him up and they just scored. So I can forgive that. I don't see teams where we've been weak is on transition. When teams are going to attack, that's why we have to show up in the middle of the park. I think defensively we've been sound. If you've got a lot of possession against us, I think we've well drilled now to be compact and set up, say, break us down, and you'll find it quite difficult. What if I would have real concerns if teams were having possession against us and scoring goals against us in those phases of play? That's why I'm saying I'm okay with it, because I can see the errors, so I'm not confused to say, okay, there's big defensive issues here. I'm saying bring it on. When you've got your 20-minute possession spell tomorrow, I think we can set up it nicely where we won't allow you to use a hot knife through butter to slice through us. I think would be and if you do, it's going to have to be a wonder goal like you did with Saka last season through a crowded player, or force something with a flick off Nketiah or something like that. It's going to be really difficult, but you can always make every goal you concede. You can break it down and say that's an error or the defensive weak or whatever. But this is high level, high tech stuff. And I do believe it's not an issue yet. I was quite happy with the way we shape up, the compactness of us. Only weaknesses on transitions when teams are transitioning against us, which is what we should be doing to teams. So once we fix that problem, I'm quite comfortable with the way we play and how secure we are.
Do you think you kind of have Rashford firing on all cylinders right now? Because I felt the goals have dried up, at Manchester United for some time now. You've been relying on goals from the defenders, midfielders, Fernandes, trickery. Your strikers haven't really been firing on all cylinders. Of course, Rashford is that striker that could, turn up in an Arsenal game, but he hasn't really been scoring in it. Do you see him as a very big potential threat in this game?
Yeah, of course, because of the way you guys set up. I think he's the sort of guy, if you're playing a high line, he's the sort of guy who can bend his run and get in behind. Go and look at all the 3 goals we scored against you at Old Trafford. It was clear. Go and look at his goal against Nuts Partey. He's got that drive from the left-hand side to cut in and run into spaces which can get in behind you. And I don't care how good man-to-man defenders you've got in Saliba and all these guys. When you're chasing back like that, I've seen it a few times. It's not going to work. We played you pre-season, and poor Gabriel couldn't even bring down trap a ball from the halfway line, and it ended up with a guy running through, touch, and scoring the goal, and no one caught him. You know what I'm saying? So I just think once you get in behind and we direct and we really sort of go in on goal, I think we will create chances. And I think you guys should be really worried that we don't go 2-3-0 up and then suddenly you're going to have to change the game and come at us, because that's been waiting to happen for a long time now. Against Spurs, we had our chances. In every game we play, even last season, we were creating such a high level of chances or goal opportunities, but we just weren't finishing our dinner. If we had a bib, it would be spilled all over our bib and not in our mouth. So this time we're looking So this time we're looking to really finish up, and that's why we got the striker in, and that's why we're so heavily dependent on someone like Rashford last season, who's mainly playing out for the left, or sometimes alternating playing in the centre. He scored 30 odd goals last season for us, and we need the goals to be coming from all other places, not just from one source, because then you become too predictable, and then you lose confidence because you can't rely on anyone else to score the goals. So it's a team thing, and I think hopefully we can get to the stage where we're like you, where the whole front line, and then the goals are coming from all kinds of directions. ManUtd has a spurt where he starts scoring goals. Trossard, Saka, that's lovely. That's when you can lick your lips there, and this team is on fire.
Yeah,
goals coming from all areas. So, but we know what Rashford does. He get in behind. He would drive forward. He's very direct, and this is something you have to worry about. The way you play with three at the back, at sometimes when you lose the ball, you're going to be in those sort of dangerous situations. I think that's the game plan for us, to exploit that, as we did last year.
Yeah, and Zinchenko. If Zinchenko is going to play our left back position, Arsenal fans should also be very, very worried, because going forward is a very, very exceptional player. But he also leaves something at the back. He leaves it gaping open. So there's that chance, that during one of your core kind of like counter attacks, you guys might just overrun us in defense, because it's always inverted. And when of course Julian Timber had that difference. Whenever he was always going forward, he was always keeping track of his man and trying to come back to help out. But right now he's injured, so we don't have that luxury again. Even Zinchenko even admitted to your legend Real Ferdinand that he leaves something to desire defending. He had that interview with your legend Real Ferdinand, and he confirmed it. He said it. I have a problem defending. So that going forward is kind of like okay, it gives us options up front, but something is just licking at at the back, and that's where we should be wary about as Arsenal fans. See, I just want to ask you this thing before we go into the players that are going to play the lineups for tomorrow. See, on Monday, is Ten Hag? Do you think he's under pressure to deliver something this season? Do you think if he goes out of the Champions League, do you think if he doesn't perform optimally this season, if he doesn't bring silverware to Manchester United and to its faithfuls, do you think this guy will literally be sacked? Is he feeling the pressure? Because when you bringing in Johnny Evans, I smell blood. There's a reason why he's brought to that football club. Amrabat, you guys scrambled to actually get him on deadline day. So there's that pressure. I'm not saying these are bad signings. I'm just saying that I smell pressure. Either pressure to deliver or pressure to actually perform. So what do you think? Do you think his job is on the line, or do you think there's that big pressure to perform?
There's at a big
in
club,
terms of Eric Ten Hag?
as at any big club, there's always pressure to deliver and perform. I think what puts pressure on a manager is results. It's a results game we're living in now, especially, well, I'm saying we living in, but Ten Hag living in. He knows he has to deliver results. So what I think sort of favouring him at the moment is that outside of the football side of things, we've got the Glazer, the ownership situation, which is distracting a lot of fans. Fans are looking that way, and they could use that as an excuse, even though I think it has no basis on how we form on the football pitch. It shouldn't, but that can always be used. Say, they Glazers didn't spend the money. Oh, you hear it from the fan base, and the fan base is usually the one that put the heat on a manager, to wave the white flags to say they're out. So the fan base would usually be saying that they haven't backed our manager, we haven't backed them in the market, we haven't got the players, the money that we needed. There's a lot of complaints now from Man United fans that we were having to sell players to get the money to buy players, which is something we're not used to. So we're having to balance the books, and so we will need to get rid of Maguire, Fred. We're selling players for cheaper than we would have liked to, for example. So we're at a situation where that's happening, and that takes the pressure off the manager to say, well, the manager wasn't backed in the market. That could be used as an excuse. So if we do poorly this season, I think he will have the backing of the fans, because they say the Glazer situation, the ownership situation, as proven, we haven't been given the money, and now we're having to beg, sell players to get the money in, which is not really an issue in the past with Manchester United. I don't think he's under pressure. I think the manager is loved at the club. We rejoice about him coming in, getting us third place in his third season, winning us the cup, and we can only look forward now. We like his discipline. We like the way he presents himself in press conferences. We like the way. Look, you have to understand there was an issue with Ronaldo last season. He dealt with that brilliantly. You know,
Brilliantly.
Then we've had a situation where Casemiro was injured. Casemiro got suspended. He's brought in all the players he's brought in. You cannot really question. They've all been decent signings. I know this season people question Mount, but give the man time. Casemiro was a good signing. Anthony, there's still a question mark about, but he continues to play. And Anthony shows a lot of desire, a lot of heart, even tracking back and doing this thing. And it's the only other side of the game he needs to improve, maybe. So I think the manager's not under pressure, Tony. I think he can lose a few games. He can afford to lose a few games, as we did last season. And there will be deflection on what's going on.
So if he doesn't win a trophy this season, his job will be safe. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
because I want to know that. Because if you just oppose it with Mikel Arteta, the fans are saying if he doesn't deliver this season,
Tony, to be fair,
are thinking that he should leave the football club.
No, to be fair, we said when
he doesn't deliver this season.
We said last season when he came in, with all the issues that we were having before that with the management, and we were on our faces. When he came in, we said, look, as a fan base, we need to give him 3 or 4 windows to get things right. We are now in that third window. When by next summer, then we can sort of look at it and assess and say, is this good enough? But there's a thing, KPIs, KIPs, or KPIs, key performance indicators, would be someone like Ten Hag now. If I'm looking at it, I would be saying, well, let's look at it. We've got a good side, became third in the league. We need to be challenging again for top 4. Okay, the title maybe not. We're not at that level yet. So we need to be challenged for top 4, and we need to be sort of getting to a semi-final or final of a domestic cup, and maybe getting into the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Those are the key performance indicators for me. If we achieve that, then I think we're on track. Anything below that, then you can raise that question. What you're raising now, 3 games into the season.
Omondi, your lineup for tomorrow.
Lineup.
I like your maneuvering, but anyway, tomorrow we'll find out the truth.
All right, I'm going just very quickly. I'm going to go with Onana in goal, which has been fantastic. Wan-Bissaka right back, tucking in with Lindelof because Varane's injured, and Martinez. Martinez has had a great start to the season. He needs to improve. Left back, I'm going to go Dalot because he played him last week, and I think the big issue with him is dealing with Saka and what's coming down that side of the pitch.
I would relish that battle tomorrow, man. That would be a big battle. It should be a big one on the right hand side. So
for sure.
Yeah, and of course, Saka. Saka would definitely, his incursion, his moving, his cutting in. He'll try that against Dalot because he's done it before. He's had joys with this guy, so he might just want to try it again and see where that takes him to.
I think with Saka,
he was just given. The young player of the year. So he's brand new.
Congratulations. So I think with Saka, the main thing is if you stand up with him, you'll be okay. And wait for people to come and support you. Don't dive in. He's jockeying because he's got quick feet. Chop. He can beat a man. Go left or right. That sort of thing. Usually on the left to pass the ball.
Yeah.
But if you stand up on him, even if he jockeys himself all the way into the penalty area where you definitely have to stand up, I think you can get covering by that point. So that's the secret to marking Saka, because I don't think he's exceptional at one attribute. He's not the quickest, he's not the most skillful, but he's got mentals and he's consistent, and your club really get the most out of him, maximize his abilities. Ahead of them, I want Eriksen. I would have said McTominay to still help deal with the Saka situation. But I'm going to go Eriksen, Casemiro, and Bruno. I'm going to play Rashford on the right, Anthony on the left, and down the middle. Even though he hasn't played yet, I would start with either with Rasmus, or maybe start with Martial and bring Rasmus on later on in the game to give you a bit of energy or something. But Martial, I think, needs to start because he gives us so much keeping the ball, holding up the ball, and creating space for others to exploit in behind. I'm really looking forward to the game. That would be my team tomorrow, Tony. What about you? What you got?
Yeah. tomorrow. See Eddie Nketiah at top first. That's where I want to go to first of all. This guy's been scoring goals. Just got into that England team. Sees Brown with confidence. I just want him to get more goals. Because the men don't believe in Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
Giving us the goodies. But if this guy is taking up 100K a week, he better be putting his money where his mouth is. Got 2 goals this
Eddie, what
season,
have
and he
you
has
done for
also
me
given us a
lately,
good
Eddie?
assist. Exactly. So, but he has been answering that call so far this season.
Yeah.
He's got 2 goals, he's gotten an assist. Yeah, and that's good. That's what you want to see from your number 9 guy. Yeah, that's a good problem to have, mostly now that Gabriel Jesus is coming back into the fray. But now it gives the manager a very big headache on who to choose. Eddie's in form, Eddie's scoring goals. Jesus is just coming back from injury. That's a wonderful headache to have as a manager. And I'm happy about that, particularly because it's a striking position that has been a very big problem for Arsenal Football Club. So just seeing Eddie just down there trying to score goals this season, I'll give him the heads up to start this one. Mostly since I don't want to risk another injury to happen to Gabriel Jesus, who's just returning back from an injury and from an operation. So I want to see him start. Martinelli on the left, on the right, of course, Saka. I'll tell you again, that matchup with Dalot would score goals again. Mind you, on Monday he scored 3 in 3 consecutive meetings against Manchester United. His goals will be so vital to this matchup, and I think he's going to score goals in the middle of the park. If the news I'm hearing of Thomas Partey isn't true, if it isn't true, then I would want a Thomas Partey in the middle of the park. I would want Declan Rice to play as a box to box kind of midfielder, that kind of thing that Xhaka was doing last season. That's what I want to see. Then Martin Odegaard, just at the top of that midfield, down there, trying to open up key areas in that Manchester United defense and just creating spaces. That's what I want to see from my captain and from my number 10, Odegaard. I want to see Zinchenko come in that left back position. I want to see a very controlled, inverted play. So when it's going forward, you have to make sure that you helping out the back 4, because when he leaves, it automatically changes our back 4 to a back 3, and I'm not so particularly sure about Gabriel Magalhaes and his match fitness. Mind you, it's always been on the bench. He hasn't actually started a matchup this season for Arsenal. So match fitness is everything you can get. From players, mostly at this time where players need to be oiled, they need to be, grilled and ready for action and ready for war. And to potentially bring in Gabriel Magalhaes in this matchup, I'm not so confident just leaving a back 3 when Zinchenko is out of position, going invertedly. So I want to see a controlled performance by this guy. I want to see the winning formula that helped us last season. Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba come back into the fray together. I also want to see Ben White coming in that right back position. He's made it his own. He's never a centre back. He came into his football club as a centre back from Brighton. He had a very calamitous first season, but then we shipped him into that right back position. He's made it his own. It's only just you put him down there. That's how I like to see it. But the big one for me tomorrow is that I want to see a replacement in my goalkeeping position. David Raya. I want to see David Raya in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because Aaron Ramsdale has been at the back end of lots of gaps this season. Yeah. Positional play totally off. You see, he's a good guy. I'm not taking a cheap shot at him. Yeah. But the thing there is that I've noticed since he made that number 1 position his own, he doesn't arrange the back 4. He doesn't shout at these guys. He doesn't control the back 4
He's
like
very
he
vocal.
usually does before. He doesn't. And his performances have been shambolic in some cases. We've already conceded nearly up to 4 goals this season already.
Right. So
Yeah, it's
why did you
crazy.
first play with
And
Real?
last season, it's Gaff against Liverpool. It's Gaff
Oh yeah,
against Liverpool.
yeah,
The one we were dumped out of the Europa League
yeah.
by Sporting Lisbon. You know, all
That's
these
right.
gaffes here. At least it made even the gaff against Southampton. It cost us about 6 to 9 points last season. And how
Yeah.
many points did Man City win the league with? 5 points. If
Mm.
Arsenal won those games without those gaffes from Aaron Ramsdale, would have been sitting pretty with the Premiership title
Harsh, but
sitting
true.
around us, because Man City just won that title with just
Yeah.
5 points, and Ramsdale cost us nearly 6 to 9 points last season. So that's a big one for me. David Raya, for me, comparatively, is a great goalkeeper.
Okay.
Great stats, yeah. His
Yeah.
crossover, distribution,
Mm.
everything you need from a modern day goalkeeper, ball
Yeah.
playing goalkeeper. Reflexes, very sharp. Can actually keep a penalty out of the goalpost. I want to see him have a crack. At this. I know it might be a long shot, but I want to see him
Just
come into
quickly,
the game.
let me ask you: with Raya, has he been brought in to play games? Is he going to be playing in Europe or the League Cup games? Or think what? How do you see this going? Because Ramsdale's fighting to be in England #1. How does that make him feel insecure, Ramsdale, to know that this guy's come in not to be a third goalkeeper or second goalkeeper, to sit on the bench? He looks to come in as a first team player. So what's going to happen long term with this situation? Is it the best man wins?
I think it's the best man wins. And you know what? Yeah, I think this manager, Mikel Arteta,
Yeah,
is that stubborn kind of manager. Yeah, but just look at what he did to one of the pair of the best defensive pairing that Arsenal had last season. He's kept Gabriel Magalhaes on the bench.
yeah,
So he's not afraid to actually drop a Ramsdale if he continues in this downward spiral that he has dished out to Arsenal fans this season and part of last season. So
yeah.
he's that kind of manager that won't be shy to you know to make a statement with those type of changes. He's done it already this season.
What
He's,
about
he's played
Jorginho?
He's
What about
played.
Jorginho?
He has actually played the one of the best, bar Rodri, the best CDM last season. Yeah,
Yeah.
bar Rodri. Okay, you can compare Casemiro. I can understand that last season. Yeah, and he's put him in that right back position. So that tells you that this manager is erratic. He can do anything.
What about I forgot about what's his name? Jorginho. He's still at the club. Is he
Yeah,
gonna?
Jorginho is still in the football club. Yeah.
Yeah,
It could come in if Thomas Partey is injured. It could just naturally come in and slot into that
right.
central defensive mechanism. So the crying about Thomas Partey, for me it won't be worth it, because of course he's a very, very interesting player for Arsenal Football Club, but this season he hasn't been played to his strength. He's
Yeah,
a right
yeah,
back. So so if Jorginho comes in, then it now shows that at least I'm getting a player who's playing in his natural position, which is
yeah,
the central defensive midfielder. So what I just want is that I want all these players to play in their natural position, and let's
yeah.
have a go. Let's have a push, and let's see what's going to happen. Tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to be on your DMs, man. I'm going to be like a chick on your DMs after I beat you up tomorrow. So
I'm actually going. I'm watching the game. I've got a game in the morning, and I'm watching the
mm,
game. I'm doing a live watch along afterwards. Sorry, I'm doing a reaction show, quick one.
mm,
Then I'm going out, going to the Jazz Cafe tomorrow night to see
okay.
Evelyn Champagne King.
Oh,
Love Come Down, Shame, um, a number of hits. So I will be going
mm.
out tomorrow night, and hopefully I have my dancing shoes on and be laughing and joking and skinning teeth. Yeah, Tony. I mean, yeah, this is the game so far. It's so exciting. Even other fans are really excited to see what's going to go down tomorrow.
Yeah, and of course, on Monday, I can't wait to come back to the UK. Whenever I come around, it would just be nice to just come and chop it up with you, and have a couple of pence, and just have a couple
Let me
of
just
drinks,
say, Tony, just like the big boys Champions League table, which Man United eat at, you are welcome to come to my table and eat at my table. And you can have a piece of chicken, you can have a leg bone, you can have the thigh bone, you can have whatever you choose. That's how much I have love and respect for you. The door is always open for you, my brother. Just like it's been 7 years since you come to the Champions League, and now you're eating with the big boys, and now you are welcome to come to my yard. Before you were banned.
On Monday, you just have to chip that in there, right? On Monday, please shout out your channel and tell these people where they can find
before I do it, I just want to say, guys, make sure you press the like button for Tony Gunner Claude. He is doing bits. I've watched Tony grow. He's got the best personality, best interviewer. I think it's underrated the way he makes his guests feel so comfortable and ask the right questions, and always sharp, always got something, bring something to give you food for thought. So, Tony, I love what you do, and I always look out for you. And I love how you stepped it up by going to games now and getting live interviews from emotions felt fans coming out of the ground. That's fantastic. Keep that up. I'm from the ManUtd Agenda. You can catch me on the ManUtd Agenda. With me, myself, and Mr. B now, we've had a few guys leave us recently, but we keep it going strong. Yeah. And you can check us out tomorrow. We're doing live watch along and obviously a post-match reaction show as well. And hopefully we'll be doing a lot more collaborations with this wonderful community that we have with podcasting, as you saw with Veggie Spurs as well. We're all, even though we're warriors out here we're not that tribal. We love each other. We're one big happy family. And really, it's a pleasure to come and get the word to come on your show, Tony. And anytime.
Sure. I think I'll be having lots of collaborations, controlled anyway, but I'll be having lots of collaboration with you this season or in the Champions League. Lots of matches. Come on, man. Lots and lots of matches.
Beautiful thing, isn't it?
But yeah, exactly. So, and I'll be having some panels. And also, I'd like to pop into the ManUtd Agenda.
You're always welcome. We've been saying this for a long time, actually, but you are always welcome. It's just that I don't do... I'm going to set this up because we have to get you on. Friday night takeaway, Mr. B. That's the... always on a Friday, we can get you on for talk Premiership football and football in general. So hopefully we'll see you soon. Maybe this week. Unless you win.
But I have this feeling that if I win tomorrow, I would never see your brick lights again. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. Everyone in the charts, go down there to the ManUtd Agenda and just go and subscribe to these guys, Him, Mr. B, all these guys, great work they are doing down there, A Manchester United channel, and it's grown over time, seasoned. And of course, even if Omondi is a little bit light down here, coming with all the technical know-hows and everything, down there when he's expressing himself and giving all this analysis about the technicalities of the game, guys, you know what he brings to the table, guys, Just go down there and check him out, him and Mr. B. See, on Monday, big ups to you. Big ups to everyone who came down today. And let's, Arsenal fans, let's hope we teach Omondi a lesson. And on behalf of you guys, I'll be on his DMs screaming at him tomorrow. From me and Omondi, it's bye from here. Bless up.